Hello, I'm Marcus, and welcome to Marcus Talks. Today I'll be doing a review of Animal Crossing New Horizons, plus the DLC Happy Home Paradise. Even though New Horizons is over a year old now, I felt it was appropriate considering it received its last major content update. So, starting this review with New Horizons, I'll start with the gameplay. This game took all three factors of any good Animal Crossing game: collecting, decorating, and just living, air quotes, and only focused on about two, collecting and decorating, and then practically threw one out, living in air quotes. I mean, it's gotten a little better with updates, but I don't think that makes it okay. On release, the day-to-day gameplay was okay, but after a while, it became glaringly apparent there was a lack of content. Entire features were in the game since launch, and it was over a year after release when it was finally added. When I say it was in the game, I mean the files for a specific location or feature were in the game's files for the entire time since it was released, but it took them over a year to finally make it usable. This is unacceptable, in my opinion. The main draw of this game is decorating, inside and outside. This gets old for many reasons. One, you just don't like decorating much, like I do. Or, you do, I sometimes enjoy it. But, you can't get the right items, and you get bored waiting. Waiting for the item that you need to decorate properly. Now, this was a problem in older games too, but you also had other stuff to do while you waited. Another gimmick of this game is crafting. This brought more problems with it than I felt it added to the series. And these feed into some I mentioned already, such as you need to get one recipe to craft another. But I got the one recipe that requires the first recipe. So now I've waited months before I can make it. By now I've forgotten and have moved on. Along with crafting came breakable tools and material collection, because every game has to be Minecraft now. I'll give you an example of how bad this is. Flowers spread like crazy now, and you also need a shovel to pick them up, which you did not before. Anytime it rains on your island, the next day you will, or I will, break 1 to 2 shovels cleaning up. I can say more, but I'd like to talk more and rant less. Also, with the most recent update, cooking was added. Here's my take on that. Cooking is just crafting, but you can eat it. Changed my mind. Now, the villagers are really bland. Like the blandest they've ever been. You can hear them repeat lines over and over in one play session. This is also unacceptable for a game where the main draw is talking to the villagers, who repeat lines over and over. Minor updates haven't improved this either. I'm not trying to be super negative, but this is a series I love, and making decisions that I don't think mesh together. Alright, now moving on to design. The graphics and character design is nice. The landscapes look a little blocky now, but that's mostly because they wanted to make your island customizable, so you can change the landscape to be what you want it to look like. The weather effects look very nice. The wind blowing through the trees is very well done, and other ambient noises and effects can be seen that look very nice. Now, for the music, I'd say the hourly tracks are the weakest they've ever been across the last 5 games. And that's saying something, because City Folk used the same music as the game before it, just slightly altered to sound a little bit better on new hardware. The holidays and actual locations have very nice music though. Okay, now from a gameplay perspective, I have more problems with the design. Duplicate recipes are way too frequent, normal and seasonal, because they added seasonal recipes you can only get during certain times of the year. When you get one from a villager, you can say no to getting a new recipe, i.e., one you haven't learned yet, but you're forced to take a duplicate from that villager that you're talking to who will give you a recipe. So I can say no to getting a new one, but I'm forced to take one that I already have and learned. So this just fills up my inventory with more junk that I didn't need. To this day, this has not been swapped. This is unacceptable. That's about all I have to say about design. Moving on to replayability. Animal Crossing is not meant to be replayed. It is meant to be played a little every day. Years. So, nothing really to say here. Now, notes for parents. This game is rated E for everyone. There is a fortune teller in this most recent update you can go see, and an item with a crystal ball with some cards, but these are completely optional. I have no real issues in this section, just listing what could possibly be considered questionable content. And also, there is accurate depictions and recreations of famous pieces of art, and specific statues could be seen as inappropriate. But in total, I would give Animal Crossing New Horizons a mere 7 out of 10. It just didn't live up to the previous game for me. And now, moving on to Happy Home Paradise. Let's start with the gameplay. Again, Happy Home Paradise takes the decorating focus from both Happy Home Designer, the previous iteration of this, and New Horizons, and makes it a little more interesting by making a special small focused set of furniture and other items. It makes it surprisingly easier to put an interior and exterior together. Each location you design requires only a few items, the rest is up to you. Now, the gameplay is fun in small bursts. Long play sessions will quickly diminish enjoyment. It also falls apart since it's mostly the same system as the base game, but it is more enjoyable here because you earn new items and abilities for personal use in the normal game. I'm not saying I hate it, quite the contrary here, but the gameplay does get old very quickly. Now, on to design. Again, my thoughts on the graphics stay the same. The new characters are the biggest highlight here. Nico is the best monkey. He's just very energetic and fun to watch. Wardell is a shy manatee. He's just so cute and chubby. Easily a new favorite. Now, the music in Happy Home Paradise is very good. It's very relaxing and reminiscent of a Walt Disney World resort. A lot better than the base game in some ways, but new tracks are very few here. So it's debatable on quality of the soundtrack. The designing interface is really fine tuned. It's the same from the base game, but it is better because they have added a few tweaks here and there that make it better for certain uses. Uh, it also really makes me wonder why they didn't just update the regular version that you're stuck with in the base game. And before I finish, I'd like to say how I plan on rating DLC from now on. Instead of rating it by itself with its own number, I'll increase the original score of the game it was added to. So, in conclusion, I give Animal Crossing New Horizons plus Happy Home Paradise a 7.5 out of 10. And that's not an insult to Happy Home Paradise. My thoughts are DLC just isn't as much as a full game. It's there purely to update and make what was there better. So, if you enjoyed that video and my thoughts on this game plus the DLC, please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Facebook page where I'll post updates on new videos coming out and possibly live streams that I'll be doing. Thank you for going through this, and goodbye.